we talked last week about pinning our opponent to the ground, making sure that we hold them down to either find like an Americana or a Kimura or even a straight armbar on that far arm. And that's all well and good, but some people are a little bit harder to just pin down and hold them in side control. Some people are good at framing and getting underhooks and fighting up and starting to wrestle again. So what we were talking about last week is I'm trying to keep this good underhook, but if Dave frames on me and turns on his side and starts underhooking my legs, I need to have answers from here. We're going to start looking at some head and arm chokes this week. As Dave builds up, I'm trying to get my hips away, and I'm getting into what's called a front headlock position. I have the chin and I have the tricep on the other side, like this, because he built up on that side. For drilling purposes, and for instruction purposes, I'm going to change sides. But if Dave fought, here we'll start here, this side control. Dave does an underhook on this side. Yep. He's fighting up, he's fighting up, boom, just like that. You guys see I'm on the chin, I'm on the tricep. I started pulling this up and to me. That way it makes it easier for me to shoot my arm through and grab tight. We talked a little bit yesterday about if this guy posts wide and I can't quite get my arms there, then I can use that cable grip of my elbow to pull him in to shoot this through. Now, there's a couple different ways of finishing this once I get it locked up. At our school, we're gonna concentrate on using the Gator choke this week to finish him. I'm on my toes, I'm pressing in. I'm gonna look sideways and hide my head. That way when I roll him over and bridge, he's not over my face. I'm gonna try to squeeze my elbows together, walk my legs over. I'm trying to get over Dave's leg, over his hip. If I can get all the way over, that's great. I'm gonna squeeze from there to get the tap. But again, we'll start from this side. Dave's getting his underhook. I can't stay here, I gotta move. And he'll tell you, I'm already pulling on this arm to help get this deep. Once this hand gets deep, since I have long arms, it's easier for me to lock and use my elbow to put his elbow back underneath him to tighten that choke. Again, the Gator choke variation that we're doing, and I'm being nice to my partner because I'm not on my toes, but I want to be on my toes. I'm gonna hide my head. I'm gonna spin through, and it's gonna start getting real tight when I start walking. I never want to let his arm get outside my hip. If his arm gets outside my hip, I'm gonna go backwards. You see how I went open, collect, pushing his head in, trying to get my leg over his leg. Sometimes they end up tapping before squeezing, and that's the Gator choke. There's another variation called an anaconda choke. I don't like it as much, but the anaconda choke, I'm getting my grips, and then I can go all the way up. And if you're tall, you can stick them into like a guard and squeeze from there. That's the difference to me between the Gator finish where I'm on my side, especially rolling to get there, versus an anaconda where I'm wrapping them up with my legs like in a guard. But try that anaconda choke. If you want to try, try the Gator choke. If you want to try the anaconda variation, you can. The only reason that I don't like it as much is sometimes when I'm going up like this, Dave can pop his head out like that, then I'm in guard, which is not where I want to be for self-defense. But try that Gator choke off your partner, getting the underhook and building all the way up. We'll go one, talking about things to do if this guy moves up from side control and gets an underhook on me. Earlier we did a Gator choke. Now we're gonna do a Marce choke, which is kind of like an upside down Darce choke. The reason I like the Marce from this position is I haven't beaten the hands. By Archie getting an underhook and starting to build up, you see how I've not gotten around his hands. There's different ways to set this up. If he's on the outside, I'm more like a Gator. If I get this leg to the inside, or if he's attacking this far leg, to me that's where I'm pulling the head up and I'm shooting this side deep. So instead of the neck side, I'm going armpit side deep. This time, I'm gonna grab my bicep. I'm gonna fall on my side. I don't have to fall on my side to get the grip. Some people might. I can get the grip, then fall on my side. I can either tap Archie by walking into Archie this way, make him tap, or I can do the never quit, bridge him all the way over and turn it from a Marce into a Darce. Bridge him all the way over. And then now, I'm trying to use my chest on the back of Archie's arm and my arm, and I'm using gravity to settle, make him tap. So again, we'll go from this side. We'll go from this side. This perspective. Here, go ahead, turtle for me, turtle. So again, this guy's grabbed my legs and I'm sprawled. Maybe I'm getting this off, or maybe he's grabbing this other leg. To me now, once he goes across my body, it's a lot easier for me to drop my armpit side in and grab my muscle here. I'm gonna fall on my hip. I'm gonna start walking in. I can tap people from here, tap, tap, or if he walks away from me, you see how he's running away, bridge, roll, and then get on top and squeeze. And turn that Marce into a Darsh. But instead of going armpit side deep, now I'm going neck side deep. But for the Gator choke, again, if he's outside my hips, I'm going neck side deep for the Gator. I may have said that backwards just a second ago. If he's across my legs, I'm going armpit side deep for the Marce. Fall on my side, walking forward, getting that choke, or rolling over, never quit on top and get that choke. So Gator and Marce, I kind of, again, pick depending where they're at. If they're on my outside leg, then I'm usually going to Gator choke them. If they're across my body, like this, on my other leg, then I'm usually going to Marce them. That's typically how it works out for me. Everyone got that? Let's go 1, 2, 3. So last one we're going to talk about is the Walsh choke. There's more than these three chokes when we're in the loop. But the loop is anytime I can grab a head and an arm and adjust my arms for different chokes. Or anyways, that's what I like to call the loop. But when Archie gets his underhook, and again I'm sprawling, I'm coming around like this. I can grab the hand if I have the confidence to grab this tight, or even have my hands gripped tight and start getting his head and his arm together. I can run around. I'm putting my shin across Archie's hip, my other leg's over the back. I have a guillotine with a head and an arm in tight, and it can squeeze, it can tap. What's really cool about this though is if I don't squeeze them, or if I can't squeeze them and tap them, I can kick them away, and I can try to fight back up. I'm not going to a full guard where I'm stuck on my back. My shin is across Archie's hip, my other leg's over the back, and his arm's across, and I have that head and that arm help me guillotine. I'm using my arm, his arm, and my side to squeeze to finish him. But again, all these chokes start working together. If his arm tries to go wide, then I can use that Darsh. His arm goes across my hips to my leg, I can Marce. If he's posted on his hands and he's starting his head up, that's one time that I really like just running with my feet. You see how I ran with my feet to get around the arm? Instead of trying to force his arm in with my arms, I run, I use my hips, I use my legs. My shins going across Archie's belly, my legs over the top, and I squeeze. Walsh choke in our system is the name of that choke, but I'm using the head and that arm to squeeze him. But those three chokes are kind of what we're looking at. The Gator, the Marce, and the Walsh choke all come from that situation where I'm still fighting these arms to get around. The more he's grabbing my legs, the better it is for me to find those chokes. But everyone got that? Let's go last one. We'll roll in about 5 minutes. 1, 2, 3.